Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes. To the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast. I am your host, the Podfather, along with the dog and the Den's enforcer, Clay Baines McDonald, here to give you some good information. Sorry, it's another day. We took an extra day to do this podcast. We had some things to do. One being the Thunder game last night, which I've had 4 hours of sleep. But you know what? We won, and I'm good with it. But let's talk about Oklahoma and South Carolina. Oklahoma, man, they dominated Saturday, didn't they? That was fantastic. Fantastic game. Way to go, the Sooners. You know, obviously the week before we got beat 23-6 against Texas. Mateer threw 3 picks against Texas, and then a fast turnaround, 26-7 win against South Carolina. Venables, his message of blocking out the noise seemed to work. So good job for the help the Sooners refocus and get back to the win column again. So what stood out to you most about the OU's mindset, body language, whatever you might want to call it, after the week before's loss? Like what from this game do you think?
To me, watching the game is compared to the Texas game is just the complete change in focus. That there was such a lack of focus and assignments and getting where you needed to be, and just everybody just, I don't know, it just seemed weird against Texas. Kind of like forgot who we were, and I felt like that came back against South Carolina. South Carolina going into the season, I counted this as a 50-50 game, very possible loss, mainly because they have Sellers coming back, but they have so many injuries. Kind of reminded me a little bit of our season last year. It's just injuries and then continue injuries, and then they have, you know, a stud defensive lineman that goes out during the game. So I think it's, you know, they're going to be in a world of hurt. I don't think South Carolina's playing good, is very good. You know, it's just the SEC is so tough. It's just hard to determine, like, every time I keep thinking this team's going to be good, and then then they go play a couple of games, you're like, oh, maybe they're not very good, or vice versa, like Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a lot better than I thought. I think Missouri's probably a little better than I thought. Still with that, we still got a lot of games to be played. And so I still kind of not real sure about the Sooners. I think they did everything they needed to do to win the game. I think their game plan was, let's run the ball. Super excited to see the amount that we could run the ball and the yardage we got. But I kind of could tell there was like, let's get some good yardage on first down and second down, make third downs short, because it seems like almost every third down we were 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, which gives us a chance. And so our third down percentage completion rate, or, you know, conversion rate, was very good in that game because we did such a good job on first and second down, which means we were running the ball. And so a lot of good things in that regard. It wasn't super exciting football game, but, you know, our defense just obviously just continued to dominate.
Dog, what are your thoughts?
I was just mainly excited to see the run game going. I know they had some injuries, but I'd rather play good against a beat-up team than play bad against a beat-up team, and we played good. So the run game looked good. It wasn't all on Mateer's shoulders. Got a couple turnovers. Yeah, it was the punter and the back quarterback that we picked off, but still, defense played really good. They were like 0 for 11 or 0 for 13 on third down until that last couple drives, I think. And the fact that they went for it on fourth down so many times and we stopped most of those, I don't even think they deserved those 7 points. I'm pretty sure Lenora stepped out.
He did
on the fourth down run, but it doesn't matter. We won, so who really cares? But I think defense looked great. Norris did not look comfortable, so it was a good game.
Yeah, I think I heard the only game they gave up more than one offensive touchdown was against, like, other teams' offensive touchdown was against Texas, or did Texas only score one offensive touchdown and have that punt return? I don't remember. So they've only had one they've only given up basically one touchdown a game. They gave up some field goals and all that.
I think 5 all year.
Yeah, it's crazy, fantastic. Mateer finished 18 to 26, 150 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. Torrey Blaylock, 19 carries, 101 yards, and a touchdown. And Satanga, 7 receptions, 73 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, think about it is Mateer, they weren't flashy. The thing is I'm good with those numbers as long as we're winning the game and we can get that running game going, like Kellen was just saying. Fantastic job to get that thing finally going. And I don't know whether or not it was is South Carolina terrible or did OU make some improvements or a little bit of both? I'm not sure. But I know Blaylock and Robinson both averaged over 5 yards a carry. And then Satanga continues to be the main target, the steady guy for John Mateer to go to, which is pretty impressive. But how big was this game to you for Mateer after he came off a horrible performance against Texas? How big was it for him? And it wasn't like he had an outstanding game, but he had a manageable game. Did good.
He just didn't make mistakes. He looked like he'd been practicing all week, but also he looked like he had a run game, so he had a little help instead of just all on his shoulders. But it looked good.
What about was OU's offense playing not to lose or playing smart football?
I think they were just playing smart football. I think after that first quarter, they realized we're going to win this game.
When we win,
let's just run the ball, throw in a few passes. I mean, Mateer Woody had 150 yards passing, his lowest of the year, and let's just get the win, go home, get ready for Tennessee. Ole Miss. So
Ole Miss, sure.
And so I think that's once they realize we can run the ball, they're not going to be able to score on us at will. It was 14-7 at halftime, so I was a little bit nervous, but I felt like with the score being close, but also felt like we were in complete control of the game from the onset.
Sure. And do you trust OU's run game now, or are you still a little skeptical?
One game.
Still skeptical.
Yeah.
And I think that may have had a little bit to do with South Carolina just not being able to defense. We got, every team we played now is ranked, and they're ranked because they're good. And so, we're not going to be able to run the ball as well. I think Mississippi's defense is probably not as good. Probably maybe as good as South Carolina, right at about the same, but their offense is so much better. Other than that, I think everybody else we're going to play is going to be pretty tough. I still think Texas is probably the toughest defense we'll play all year. I'm not. I got to see it more than once.
Oh yeah, 100%. I called Sports Animal this week and asked the defense, because South Carolina had a better defense last year, especially defensive line. And I asked them their defense versus the next 5 opponents we're going to play. And Traber said that he thinks Ole Miss will be able to run against. Then he said Tennessee thinks we'll be able to have some success. Not a whole lot, but have some success. Alabama, he doesn't think so. He didn't think Missouri either, and he said LSU probably a little bit more as of right now because of what he's seen so far with them. But I don't know what your guys' thoughts are, but does Missouri have that good of a line? I don't pay attention a whole lot to
Missouri's not any good, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Beat those guys. But our defense, 6 sacks, 2 interceptions. We had a safety, only 54 yards rushing allowed. Taylor Wine and Kobe McKenzie both had some big plays. But we rank nationally number 1 right now in total defense, 213 yards averaging a game, and number 2 in scoring defense. Is this the best defense in Venables' era with OU? This go around, I guess? Or even the ones he helped coach in the early 2000s.
I want to answer that next week after we probably play the best offense we're going to play all year. See how we are. Because right now I don't think we've played any just stellar offenses by any means.
Now, have we played we haven't played a really good quarterback yet, have we?
Well, Sellers is coming into the season was predicted as one
he was
of the
pretty
top
high.
2 or 3 quarterbacks, but
they're still claiming he's the most NFL already. I didn't see it, but
yeah,
it's because Venables' defense. Which of all these guys on defense right now, who's the tone setter? Who's the guy the big tone setter in here?
Arm Mason for sure.
Yeah, you agree with that, Kellen?
He's the most consistent of them all, but David Stone's playing extremely well. Then you got Jaden Jackson and Grayson Halton. Marvin Jones Jr. is playing good. The linebackers, I'm not sure. I hadn't heard much about Gentry Williams. That
Yeah.
injury report's going to be coming out. That kind of hurts us. But it was nice that we have Eli Bowen back, but we also, Cortland Guillory got a lot of experience going in. So when Williams went down, we just plugged in another defensive back that's been playing a lot. So, but depth is huge. We got to keep having these. We can't have these guys getting hurt.
I agree 100%. 100%. And, we got a gauntlet of a schedule coming up. We've got Ole Miss, we've got Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. We've got, 3 of those 5 at home. If we could just win those home games for sure, that'd be fantastic. I think Ole Miss is going to be tough. I think we'll go through that here shortly on our predictions on the game. It's like a 95% chance of rain in Norman on Saturday as of right now. I looked at the time frame wise, and it looked like around 60% during the game, but man, I hope not. I can't stand the daggum rain sitting out on that thing.
Delays.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. That'll be
You're
interesting.
You're on that north end zone where there's nowhere to stand underneath.
No, nowhere at all. So everybody's standing right underneath my big old belly. I'll save the world. I just wonder if we're going to be able, if possible, can we win a defense? Can our defense help us win a playoff game? If we're able to get there. But South Carolina, over, done with. I'm glad we beat them. That's the first time we ever beat them. Of course, we've only played them twice. Played them last year, and they smoked us. But this year was much, much different. I know this Saturday, again, like we were just talking about, Ole Miss 6-1 against us 6-1. It's 11 a.m. kickoff Central Time, if I'm not mistaken. Am I correct? That's what I thought. Ole Miss, number 8 in total offense, averaging 492 yards a game. Injury report a minute ago. That's going to be very interesting to see how we match up. They're number 16 in scoring. They have a quarterback by the name of Trinidad Chambliss, passed for over 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns, and an interception. And the running back, Kewan Lacey, 618 yards, 10 touchdowns. But we've got the number 1 defense in the country. So that'll be a very interesting to see. OU red zone offense is 100. It says 100%. That can't be right. I know that's not right. But questions. Here we go. What gives? So like OU's elite defense or Ole Miss explosive offense? So what's going to give?
I'm going to say, this is not the answer you want, but I'm going to say both because I think they're Ole Miss is in the top 5 of most explosive plays in all of college football. So they're going to have some plays. As much as it'll suck the rain, I think that could help us because, catching the ball, running the ball, all that stuff's just harder to do when you're on offense. And so they're going to have some plays. We need to just not panic, not freak out, just go, man, they just made a good play because they make good plays. And so I think some of that's going to happen. And we've done that a few times this year. We've given up some big plays that we're just like, whoa, like that. They gave it against South Carolina. What did you say? That guy, they had 54 yards rushing. They got 45 of it on a 4th and 1. Or we're just like, that's a big play. Shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
And so something like that was going to happen. I mean, and they're college athletes. They're high-ranked teams. So stuff like that's going to happen. But overall, I think our defense is probably going to win out against those 2 teams, against their offense overall.
For sure. What about you, Dog? What are your thoughts?
I think it will have to be a little bit of both because we can't go in there expecting to shut this offense down, but I think they'll definitely will limit what they can do compared to some of the defenses they've played. So I think it's going to come down to can our offense score and can our offense keep our defense off the field and get them rested and energized.
Sure. One thing I'm looking at, it says Ole Miss is ranked 118th in the country in penalties. That'd be nice. Get a bunch of penalties. That'd be fantastic. Who has a better? Yeah, who has a better quarterback right now? Is it OU or Ole Miss?
Well, I think if I was going into a game, I'd much rather have John Mateer than
I would too.
Quarterback. I mean, I think he's a good player, but he's going to make some mistakes, and just because he's young. And I think that's where Venables always tees off on younger quarterbacks.
Sure, and Kellen, answer that here in a second. But do you think this is the best defense he will have seen at this point. I think it's probably the best defense he's had gone up against. Kellen, do you think I know your answer. You'd rather have Mateer. 100%.
Yeah, no,
sure.
Partially because I think he's the best in the country. Partially because I agree. I'd rather have a lot of quarterbacks over a freshman. No offense to him, you just don't know how he's going to play.
One thing I'd like to see, if we can get that running game going like we did last week, if we can rush for, I'm going to just say 150 yards. Obviously, I like it to be more, but we'll see. But if we could rush the football, I would like to see us grind it out, keep their offense off the field. I don't know what your thoughts. Do you think we should take some shots, or would you rather grind it out and keep their offense off the field, or what are your thoughts?
I'd rather take whatever's there.
Fair enough.
If there's a shot and Mateer can hit it, go ahead and do it, because that can be demoralizing. But if our run game is there, fine by me. Take that, waste all the clock, and march your way down, wear their defense out.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I like what you said. Grind it out, so they don't have the ball. Time of possession, I think, would be huge. If we can get 150 yards of offense, rushing, I think we'll win. I think if we win the time of possession by 5 or 6 minutes, we're going to win.
I agree 100%. I know. Let me look at. I forgot to look at the odds. What are the key matchups in your opinion? Like, just thinking about it off the top of your head, key matchups, and what I mean by that, not player versus player, but like OU's running game against their line, or what? What do you think the OU's front seven against that running back that they have, Lacey, or any thoughts?
It's like almost every game. What can we do on offense against their defense?
Okay.
So I'm going to say our front seven against their front seven, or offense against their defense. So far, we're 6-1 with that.
Sure.
We won 6 times of that battle.
Yeah. And I predicted us to be 8-4 at the end of the year, and we were going to be 6-1 going into this game. To be honest with you, I can't remember who I think honestly I picked us to lose against LSU, Tennessee, and Alabama. I think it's who it was. Kellen, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
I was just going to say this will be a test for our offense, because this is like I said, we can't expect this defense to go in there and get stops every possession against a great offense like this. But if Baker Mayfield had anything near this defense, we'd have won probably a couple national championships with him. So it's like if they can get some stops and play well, the offense has to back that up, and we'll just see how good our offense really is this week.
All right, give me some scores. What's your score predictions?
I'm going to say OU 30, Ole Miss 27.
I was going to say Oklahoma 34, Ole Miss 31.
Oklahoma 27, Ole Miss 26. 1 point. Now, how that's going to happen? Are they going to score at the end, go for 2, miss? It's going to be a bunch of field goals. I don't know. But one thing I will tell you, our field goal kicker, I'm impressed with that kid. I don't know about you guys. I am very impressed with him. I think he's going to be
impressed with him. We need to put Mateer as our punter.
Yeah,
we'd be great if we could do that.
Our punter had 2 bad kicks all year long, and everybody's kind of freaking out. But that's it. Other than that, he's been really solid.
Yeah.
They just always look. No, last week he kicked them too low, and like they went far, but he'd kick them so low. That's why they could return it.
Well, and I read that they were trying to keep it away from that guy because he's like one of the top 5 punt returners in all of college football. So he's trying to keep it away from him, and he didn't do a good job at it. Instead of just unleashed it and let him kick, he probably would have kicked fine. But can't say what the returns were going to be like. Of course, that 18-yard punt is where he really screwed up. But other than that, I think he's pretty solid. Didn't realize he kicked for UCO last year.
Yeah, that's what the guys were saying in my text group. We're saying he needs to go back to UCO, and I'm like, To your point, he had some really, really good games. So keep that focus going. Over under 300 yards total for OU this upcoming week. Over under.
I mean, if I'm going to say 34 points, I got to say over, but I could see it go under though.
I'm going to say over.
Okay. Give me a bold prediction that's going to happen this weekend. What's a bold prediction that you see happening in this game?
We're going to have 2 turnovers.
I don't know how bold this is.
2 turnovers. We're not going to have to. We're going
to. We'll win the turnover battle, I think, but I think we'll get 7+ sacks. I don't know how bold that is, but I'd say against a team like this, I think that's pretty. I think that'll shake up a freshman quarterback.
Yeah, my bold thing would be I think we're going to defensive score. We're going to score on the defensive side of the football.
That would be fantastic.
And get that. Yeah, we're due. That's going to get the crowd all fired up. How does if it does rain? Let's say and I don't know. I'm not saying pouring down rain. How much does that affect anything, or does it?
I think, like Clay said earlier, I think it favors us because outside of last week, we already don't really have much of a run game, so it's like it can't get much worse. Hopefully, it can be somewhat similar to last week, but it'll affect some of the passes and stuff. I trust Mateer being able to handle the conditions, and I think it'll slow their offense down if the field's all wet and if it's raining while they're playing.
Okay. If you could have one player in a rainy game, who would it be? Little Samaje Perine, maybe? Wasn't that a rainy game that he rushed for like 400 and something yards? It was like, who was that against Kansas?
Kansas, I was there, yeah.
Were you there? You were at that game?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was
That's
just
incredible.
a slight miss the entire time.
Is that what it was?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's who I would get a mutter out there, one of them mutters. All right. Here's my question for you. Here's a little fun question for us. Would you rather have to communicate? Hold on, let me redo this. I can't. I got to put my glasses on. Okay. Would you rather have to commentate every game you watch out loud, or only be able to whisper during games?
Whisper during games. I wish we did that already sometimes.
But everybody or just me? I'd rather commentate.
The whole time?
The whole time.
Dead gumbench.
I'd rather whisper because if that's the case, I'll just lock in and not say a word. That's what I started doing in the fourth quarter last night. Not against anybody, just because I was getting so ticked off and scared.
All right. What about this one here? Would you rather eat stadium nachos that fell on the ground or drink a mystery Gatorade from the sideline cooler?
Mystery Gatorade.
Probably Mr. Gatorade from sideline cooler. Can't be that bad, but ground nachos at a stadium.
That is fantastic. With the Fox Den Sports Podcast, we'd like to thank all of our listeners for tuning in and listening to our podcast, and for Clay and Kellen. I know they appreciate it as well. We need you to subscribe. Get on YouTube. Subscribe. We got over 17,200 followers now. 18,000 is in the horizon, and 200 episodes is coming up. We're close. I don't know the number yet, but me and Dog will look it up here shortly. But we're close, and we're ready to roll. But until next time, stay safe, folks, and goodbye, everybody.
Sooner.
Thank you for listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. Be sure to subscribe for free to our YouTube channel, Fox Den Sports. And also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Fox Den Sports, and on Facebook at Fox Den Sports Podcast. You can also email us at foxdensports@yahoo.com. This has been Fox Den Sports.